As is customary at our AGM, I will first like to share with you my views on the subject that I believe is most relevant in the current environment for your company. I have chosen the topic, Serving India Today and Tomorrow, and the same is available at the website of the company and on the website of NSDL. I will now read excerpts from this. 1987. It was a momentous year for me as I joined Hindustan Unilever Limited as a management trainee. Today, I have the honor and privilege to chair the board, and I feel the same excitement and pride that I felt as I started my career nearly 4 decades ago. Over the decades, the business has continued to evolve and remained relevant to the changing times. However, what has remained constant are its values. It is here that I've learned that business must always have a purpose beyond profits, and that doing well by doing good is the only way to sustainable progress. And this brings me to the topic of my first AGM speech as the chairman, Serving India Today and Tomorrow. Today, we live in a world full of paradoxes. On the one hand, the clarion call for fighting climate change and addressing biodiversity loss is growing louder. And on the other, the green cover of our world continues to recede at a rapid rate, with over 400 million hectares lost since 1990. According to an Oxfam report, 250 million people will be pushed into poverty this year. And at the same time, the world's 10 richest individuals more than doubled their collective fortunes since March 2020. The paradox exists in India as well. According to the World Inequality report, India is amongst the most unequal countries in the world, with the top 10% owning almost 65% of the country's total wealth, while the bottom 50% own a little over 5%. Despite this, the India growth journey, which began prior to the pandemic, continues to be strong. However, to address the inequality and tackle the scourge of poverty, India needs growth that is not just transformative, but also equitable and inclusive. Growth that is both productivity-led, but also employment-led. This growth needs to be built on a robust foundations that will withstand the challenges of an increasingly volatile world. And at the same time, we will need to ensure that the accelerated growth does not come at the cost of nature. But there is no silver bullet to achieve this. We will need to make interventions in a few key areas. One of the biggest drivers of the transformation will be the transformation of rural India. We will need to step up productivity. At the same time, we will need to create enough employment opportunities in other sectors, such as manufacturing and services, to transition people out of agriculture. Manufacturing plays a pivotal role in creating employment opportunities for this. The Atmanirbhar Bharat vision and the corresponding fiscal stimulus through a special economic package that has been spelled out, that spells out India's growth ambitions in the area of manufacturing. The role of the MSME segment that employs around 12 crore people is also critical. MSMEs will have a big role in the India growth story by not just supplementing the country's GDP, but also contributing to employment, as it has a high employment to turnover ratio. All of this will need to be supported by robust infrastructure and decisive reforms in areas such as raising international competitiveness, boosting a green economy, strengthening healthcare and education, as well as creating a skilled and competitive labor market. We need to also ensure women's participation in the workforce. A McKinsey study estimates that India has the highest relative potential for additional GDP growth from achieving gender equality, as much as $700 billion. Having said that, the opportunities that India presents are not without challenges, and as businesses, we need to play a big role. Hindustan Unilever has been an integral part of India's growth story and has always believed that what's good for India is good for the company. We've always believed that business needs to deliver the 4 Gs of growth: consistent, competitive, profitable, and responsible growth. With more than 9 out of 10 Indian households using one or more of our brands, we realize that we have a power to impact the lives of our consumers. Our conviction that purpose-driven brands and business can indeed deliver sustainable growth has been strengthened over the years. We've crossed the 50,000 crore turnover mark over the last decade, and we've doubled our turnover, tripled our EBITDA, and quadrupled our market capitalization. More importantly, we have strived to have a positive impact on not just the people who we directly employ, but those who are a part of our value chain. We've helped enable better livelihoods for many others through our community development projects, directly or indirectly, touching the lives of nearly 2 crore individuals. Now, to continue in serving India of tomorrow, it is important to understand that consumers and their needs are evolving. For instance, people are now demanding products that deliver functional benefits but are also good for the planet and people. Adoption of technology too has been at an accelerated pace amongst Indian consumers. With an increased adoption of digital, shopper journeys have now become phygital. As a result, brands need to be present everywhere. But that's not all. In a nation of paradoxes, critical to unlocking value is de-averaging. We will need to win in rural as well as urban, in mass as well as in premium, in traditional channels as well as in digital. We are conscious of all of this. At HUL, we are embedding sustainability across the value chain and beyond through what we call Compass. Compass, which is our strategy to make sustainable living commonplace. We are building a technology muscle to serve our customers and consumers even better. In fact, we are determined to showcase that there can never be a trade-off between purpose and performance. 7 years ago, we embarked on a journey to reimagine HUL by addressing the surging digital ecosystem and bringing data and technology center stage in our business. Our vision now is to create a solution that is fit for the complexity of the business and the emerging needs of the consumer. We are building capabilities to create a business that is smarter and more efficient, with a value chain that delivers the scale and efficiency of the large and at the same time builds the nimbleness of the small. Let me illustrate this with an example. Our content hubs such as Be Beautiful and Cleanipedia talk to consumers about trends and products. Smart Pick allows small pack trials, and direct-to-consumer channels allow consumers to make that final decisive purchase. When it comes to customers, Shikhar, our e-business-to-business app, helps retailers track and place orders virtually and now reaches over 8 lakh retailers. To deliver an unbeatable customer experience in terms of delivery reliability and real-time feedback, we've launched Samadhan, a tech-enabled customer delivery mechanism. And recently, our tech-driven Dapada manufacturing unit has become the first fast-moving consumer goods factory in India to join the World Economic Forum's Global Lighthouse Network. We believe that being a responsible, sustainable business only makes us stronger and better. In fact, it's the only way to do business. At HUL, we are committed to achieve a zero emissions for all our products from sourcing to point of sale by 2039, and have already reduced CO2 emissions per ton of our production by 94% compared to our 2008 baseline. In 2021, we became plastic neutral, which means we collected and safely disposed more plastic waste from the streets of India than the plastic that we use in the packaging of our finished products. Water is yet another area of focus for us, and through the Hindustan Unilever Foundation and its partners, we've created a cumulative water potential of over 1.9 trillion liters. That is about the drinking water needs of the entire population of India for 1 year. Another key commitment that we've made is to build a more resilient and equitable communities by raising living standards, advancing equity, diversity and inclusion, and preparing people for the future of work. By empowering women entrepreneurs, we've helped 1.6 lakh Shakti entrepreneurs across 18 states to generate income from themselves, but also cater to the needs of their communities. We are also committed to ensure that everyone who directly provides goods and services to the company earns at least a living wage. And a living wage is significantly more than the legally mandated minimum wage by 2030. Through Project Prabhat, our community development initiative across key cities, we have been imparting employable and future-ready skills to women, people with disabilities, transgenders, sex workers, and the youth of India. Prabhat has, so far, impacted over 70 lakh lives across 21 states. Finally, to be able to decisively steer the business to its true potential and to serve the needs of a nation, we will need leaders. We will need leaders who are convinced that sustainable business models will be the only way to do business in the future. At HUL, we have a holistic approach towards honing our talent pipeline and building leadership capabilities in our people. Our teams have ensured that we continue to be the #1 employer of choice across industries in India. More than 400 CXOs in India today are from HUL. To conclude, as India moves forward, businesses will need to play a key role in overcoming the challenges and realizing the opportunities that exist. At HUL, we will continue to serve our consumers while taking care of people and the planet. We will continue to keep India first, for we believe that what's good for India is good for HUL.